Sofia Castillo here at the Team Vision Dojo, part 2, or it could be part 1. Depends on how we put this up on there, but either way, it's fine. It works either way. And also, the I Believe in Wrestling shows occur here. We're in Central Florida, I should have said the other time, in Orlando. So it's a really cool place. This place has been around forever, and wrestlers, men, women, referees have come out of the Team Vision Dojo. And Sofia is 20 years old, and she's really making a mark already. She's been training for 3 years, wrestling for 3 years, been on shows all over the place. There's something really cool. Sofia is from Costa Rica, and she's actually going back to Costa Rica to have a wrestling match there against another woman wrestler, which historically could very well be the first time 2 women wrestle in Costa Rica professionally. Tell us about this event, when it is, who you're wrestling, and what's going on there.
It's so exciting. So it all started like this. I am Costa Rican, born and raised there. There wasn't any promotion or any wrestling school up until about 4 years ago. 2015,
2016, somewhere in there.
Around so, but I didn't know this. I was already here by the time that happened. And I met a friend. He came here and he trained at the school, and he said, "Hey, did you know that there's a school over there?" And then I heard about it from another guy on a plane. And I said, "No, but I'm very curious now." And so I found out about the school, and I texted them and I said, "Hey, my name's Sofia, and I'm wrestling here in the States, and I'm Costa Rican, and I'm very interested in everything that's going on because I feel like I don't know anything about it. I would like to know. So could you, like, fill me in?" And then he said, "For sure." And then we started speaking. We became good friends. He's Mexican. I went back home last year. And I said, "Hey, do you mind if I train here with you a couple times?" And he said, "Of course, you're more than welcome to." I got to train there. I met the only other female wrestler that's born and raised Costa Rican that's over there. Her name's Sonya. And I didn't know that there was wrestling over there altogether. And so I got to meet all the guys. I got to meet her. And I started thinking, and I said, "Gosh, I'm from here. And why am I not wrestling here too?" Then I came back to the States. I started talking to my mom, and I said, "Hey, what if," this was last summer. I said, "Mom, what if, I put out a challenge and see if the girl that's training over there takes it, and then we can have the first ever female one-on-one match in the country with 2 women that are born and raised over there. Like, isn't that a cool thing?" And she said, yeah, it's a cool thing. Can you pull it off?" And I said, "I don't know." So I made the video. I posted the challenge. About 5 days later, she responded. She accepted it. I was like, "Oh, this is exciting." And so that's how everything began. It is a very historic thing. Nobody has ever seen there. I mean, we're the only 2 female Costa Rican wrestlers, and one of them is out of the country, which is me. She's been doing her stuff in Mexico too. So I've been in the States, she's been in Mexico, but we've never reunited in our home country. And I think that's something very historic and very beautiful that people are going to get to experience, and hopefully it'll be a great show. I'm sure it'll be, and I'm so excited. It'll be July 6th at 6:30 p.m.
What is the name of the wrestling company?
Costa Rica Wrestling Embassy.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from family, friends, people in Costa Rica about this? And how are women treated in Costa Rica?
Oh, we're treated great. We don't let, there's equality there. We don't let, no. We got it.
Because some Spanish-speaking countries, that's not the case.
No, but I feel like in our case, I feel like most Hispanic countries, their women are very in search for equality, and we don't let, not men, but we don't let society kind of belittle us, I'd say. So on that front, we're fine. I feel like that's more of an older perspective. But now things are changing, and that's a good thing. My family, some of them, they're mixed feelings. Some of them are happy, some of them are scared. My grandma, Drette, said she does not want to see me. She's very nervous, very scared. She doesn't want me fighting at all. My dad's very excited. My friends are coming up to me. They're like, "I'm so confused. What's happening?" There are so many feelings. I don't even know how to feel. I know that I'm excited and grateful, maybe even a little bit nervous, because if there's something that you're passionate about, you have to feel nervous, I feel. It's just so many mixed people that I've never talked to in years. They're now texting me. They're like, "Hey, I saw this. Is it true?" And I'm like, "Yeah." haven't seen you in like 7 years, but let's, you know, reconnect. Like, why not? Let's see each other again and have some fun. Like that. The more people, the better. And we are such an interactive culture that the environment within the wrestling match, it gets so exciting. I've never personally been there for a show, but I've seen videos, and it just seems, I'm happy. I can't wait.
Tell us about what wrestling is like then in Costa Rica. This hasn't started since like 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. So was it just you get to watch it on TV, whether it was WWE or whatever company? What was it like in Costa Rica as far as wrestling?
So the only company that would ever air over there was WWE. We had 1 hour of Raw on Saturdays and 1 hour of SmackDown on Sundays. And that was it. I did not know that Raw was 3 hours long. That was a surprise. I'm super excited, but that was a surprise to me. That's the only wrestling that we knew. Some other fans that were more into it knew that there was people in Japan wrestling. There was, you know, lucha in Mexico, but we never really had like a taste like we do in the States of the wrestling business. There's no independent circuit. There's nothing like that. I remember that WWE went there twice that I got to go. And
you got to go then?
I got to go. I got to go.
What do you remember? Anything you remember about any of those events?
I was 12. I remember that people were very confused as to why the 12-year-old girl wanted to go to a wrestling show. It was not taking well in school. No, I was not popular because of it at all. But I got to go with my dad. I dragged him into it. We got to go to VIP when The Undertaker came out. The lights just, like, everything was dark, and we heard that bell. People just froze. But I didn't. I didn't freeze. I jumped out of my seat, and I ran all the way to the entrance to see him. And it was such a shock. I was like, whoa, Dad, like, what? He was dead, and he was walking. It was great. I was 12, but, you know, perspective changed, but it was great. I was so excited for it.
Do you feel that this history-making event, you're 20 years old, and you're making history?
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
How do you explain that? How do you think about the match itself? Do you think that's going to be on your mind? You're not going to be thinking about it when you're out there? Just basically you're opening doors for other women in Costa Rica by doing this.
Yeah, there's something I like to do is making trouble, making history.
Well, this isn't making trouble. This is making history. We don't want to hear about the trouble.
It's a very historic thing. It's something that, since it has never happened before, some people are very kind of not unsure of how things are going to go. Other people are pumped about it. They're like, we're going to be there and we're going to have a great time. Other people, they're like, well, she's only 20. The other girl's about 27, 28. There's a bit of an age gap, but I mean, does age really matter if you're passionate about something and you want to put up a great show?
In Costa Rica, the fans are going to come out, we're going to have the show, they're going to do that. What are you most looking forward to about going to Costa Rica? Did you even think when you were little, hey, maybe someday I'll get to wrestle in Costa Rica? Yes,
I did think that. When I was 10, I was like, hey, totally, like, that's great. I didn't even think that there wasn't a place to wrestle at back home. That didn't even cross my mind. But now that I get to do it, and I remember when I was a kid, it was hard. Like, getting here was very hard. And wrestling over there didn't happen overnight either. Like, they had to go through a long process and kind of go up the ladder to be able to get to where they are today. So I think that it's a mixed effort that we have, and so many emotions of so much hard work and injuries and stress, frustration, sweat, blood, tears. And so it's so much going into it that what I'm looking forward to the most, other than the match, is always seeing my family, because they're all over here. I'm only here with my mom. But thinking about going there, and when I land in the airport and I know what I'm going to see when I get out, and my dad's always waiting for me. And so here's the thing, right? My dad and I like to take risks, but sometimes they become stupid risks. So what we do is that I say, hey Dad, when I'm in the States, I say, hey Dad, the plane's taking off. He'll say, great, see you when you get here. But between the see you when you get here, my phone is now not working. I don't have any service there. So when I land, I don't know where he's at. Like, I just know that I'm going to pick up my bag, and I'm going to get out of the airport and eventually run into him. I don't know when, I don't know where, I'm just going to run into him somehow. And so I'll go out of the airport, I'll start looking for him. Then all I hear, we had a signal, all I hear is that, psh. The second I hear that, I'm like, I know where you're at, and then we'll find each other. It's great. Like, it's just things like these that are not normal in a family dynamic that we get to do. They're fun.
He's the fun dad.
He is the fun dad. Like, he'll pick me up, and then we'll get in the car, and he has like a bunch of fruits. He's just like, hey, here's all this. You can eat that in the meantime. I'm like, great. Like,
and what is your favorite fruit then?
Oh, you can't make me choose that. I don't even know the names in English.
That's something. Wow.
So if we're gonna pick a common fruit that we have so that we can both be in the same page, I'll say orange. But I rarely eat oranges when I'm over there because we have so many other fruits that I can't explain to you what they are because I've never seen them here. But it's great. Like he will legit. One time he picked me up. We got in the car. He put a hat on my head. I don't know where he got the hat from. He put a hat in my head and he gave me a bunch of fruit and he said, "Eat." And I was like, we had no music. The door was falling apart. He's a mechanic. The door was falling apart. And I'm like, you know what? I have a hat that I didn't know I was gonna get. I have a hat. I have fruits. That's all I need.
And your dad.
And my dad. Like, that's great.
So dad's the fun one. That means someone has to be the tough one and the business one. Does that mean mom fits that role? And has mom seen you wrestle? And what does she think about all this?
I will say mom is very fun too. Both my parents are very fun. My mom is more on the strict side of the spectrum just because I live with her every day. So my dad doesn't get to deal with me every day. But my mom is also very fun. We travel a lot and we have a lot of fun. But she was not a fan of me in the idea of wrestling at all at the beginning. She thought it was more of a phase. When I was 10, I was 10. I mean, do you really blame her? I was 10, I was like, hey, I want to wrestle. She's like, hey, no. And then that's how things would go progressively as I got older. Up until I was 16, I was like, hey, you remember that one time I told you I wanted to wrestle? And she's like, yeah, can we? And it came to a point where she needed to change and I needed to change. And she's like, you know what? Sure. And we came to the States and I was like, what do you mean sure? And she's like, let's do it. And I wasn't expecting that. And then it happened and now we're here. Now she's a little bit more supportive of it, which is great. There are things that she still doesn't like. And she makes it a point for me to know those things. But we get along great. And, you know, as long as she's supportive, I think that's all you need. She doesn't have to be completely okay with it. She just needs to support me in it for it to kind of work.
Now, so this big match is going to be in Costa Rica. Sofia Castillo, Costa Rican. It's going to be the first time two Costa Rican women, wrestling in Costa Rica against each other. Natives. This is going to be a very historic event. It'll be great. Can you speak some Spanish about this event coming to Costa Rica and about any fans, anybody that might be watching this there to come on out and support this event and see up-and-coming wrestler Sofia Castillo and your opponent?
Yeah, like Costa Rican people?
Yes.
Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Bueno, aquí estoy haciendo una entrevista para la lucha que tenemos en Costa Rica. Ya hemos hablado de que va a ser el 6 de julio. Yo estoy súper feliz y súper contenta. Les pido por favor, amigos, familia, toda la gente que ustedes conozcan que vengan. Porque va a ser algo tan bonito y tan diferente y tan histórico. Las entradas cuestan 3.500 entrada general, 5.000 VIP. Si son amigos míos, vengan y nos vemos. Si no nos llevamos bien en la U, en el cole o en la escuela, pues no importa. Van a ver que posiblemente algo me va a doler y me van a pegar. Entonces todo el mundo termina feliz y contento. Va a ser algo muy bonito. Yo estoy contenta de volver, estoy contenta de ver a toda mi familia, a todos mis amigos. Y yo creo que hacer historia es algo que uno pocas veces tiene una oportunidad de hacer. Entonces los invito a todos, muy agradecida, muy bendecida. Porfa, lleguense, entre más gente mejor, va a estar el ambiente más bonito. Y me muero por verlos a todos. Muchísimas gracias por el apoyo, les mando un beso y un abrazo.
Sofia Castillo, thank you so much. That was really cool. I hope everything goes well in Costa Rica.
Thank you, I hope so too.